So a Monday morning practice this morning, focusing on any tension in the neck and in the shoulders, opening up the chest to not only counter the forward rounding that we do all day, but also to expand the chest open so that we can take in more air and more prana, life energy. So coming onto our backs, maybe elevating the heart. Because it's an upper body, maybe finding constructive rest with the legs so that the feet are wider on the mat, wider than the hips. The knees gently rest in together, offering a lot of space into that low back area. And maybe as you arrive on your mat, hand to the belly and a hand to the heart, and close down your eyes and feel into your breath. Notice with the heart space elevated, all the space across the collarbone. So as you take the deep breath in through the nose, let it fill the collarbones, the outer ribs, and maybe even the belly. And then as you let the breath go, let the body go, let it just sink to the mat. You've arrived. Feeling the breath in the body. Allowing the mind to just trace the breath in and out of the body so it begins to quiet the mind down. And we know that as we quiet the mind down, we can calm the body down. So a couple breaths here on your own, setting the intention to ask what you're going to do today to make a difference. What small act for an or unknown person that will have that ripple effect. Gather one more deep inhale. And as you release the exhale, you can keep your legs in the position that it's in. Take the arms out wide to a T. Now I'm still elevated in the heart. So it's a huge opening in through my pecs, in through that inside of the shoulders. So if that's too much for you, just roll over to one side, remove whatever props you're using, and join us back on your back. So here we stretch fingers away from fingers. And then squeeze the shoulder blades in underneath you so that the top of the shoulders drop down. And just begin to rotate as slow as you can, head to the right. So even if you were doing it in segments of a third, and a third, roll along the curvature of the skull. And just notice the range of motion as you come back to center and go over to the other side. Again, a scan for any tightness or tension. And just move one side to the other. And the next time you come back into the center, just take a moment here. I am going to come off my towel. Take a moment here to just pick up the head slightly and tuck the chin into the throat, and then set the head back down. So you're coming a little bit lower onto that occipital point on the skull there. So finding a lot of length in the back of the neck, and just pause. Palms are flat down. We're going to rotate right through the shoulders. So we're not just going to flip the palms at the wrist. Pick up the arms maybe an inch off of the floor. Turn from the shoulder joint, palms up, and then land onto the back of the hands. And again, in a mindful way, lift the arms, reach the fingers away from each other. From that shoulder joint, drop the palms back down. And just begin this rotation, this internal and external rotation through the shoulders. And if it helps to think about, for me, my fingers are spread wide. So the thumb hits as the palms are down. And then when I flip the arms over, the thumbs come up and over, and maybe they touch, maybe they don't. So feel into the shoulder joint. And again, notice if you're holding your breath, keep the breath nice and fluid. We'll take one more rotation here. And then drop the hands down. Just take a moment. Just let everything just kind of fall to the mat. And then noticing that the elbows are straight out from the shoulder joints. Take a bend at the elbows, like goalpost arms here, cactus arms, fingers pointing up towards the ceiling, palms are facing away. Again, extra credit if the fingers are spread wide, getting some energy into the finger joints. The same thing here. We're working right into that rotator cuff. Nice and easy. As you take the breath, let the palms fall forward towards your hips. Don't have to come down. Just notice the range of motion in that shoulder joints. And then slowly inhale. We bring the fingertips back to point to the ceiling. And then let them fall back down towards the face. So you're coming onto the back of the hands, and notice what you notice there. Big inhale brings you back to center. And then rotate again, palms down the mat towards your hips. And then back up. And just take a couple sweeps here. Good. And we'll end up with fingertips up, pointing towards the ceiling. Take the right hand across the body to the back of the left shoulder. The left hand will stack over to the right shoulder so that the elbows stack together, pointing up towards the ceiling. And then just drop them down to the chest and adjust your hands like you were giving yourself a hug. Taking a full breath. Let it go nice and slow. Inhale, lift the elbows off the chest like you could touch the ceiling with them, straight up. And then let them fall towards the forehead. Inhale, elbows come right back up like you could touch the ceiling, coming out of the shoulder socket. And then let them fall down towards the chest. So let's just take 3. Inhaling, the elbows come up straight, reach for the ceiling, and then they fall towards the forehead. And then they come back and they land on the chest. Now, nice and fluid with breath. Next time on the chest, just pick up one hand, cross it over so that the other elbow's on top, and then just take a couple more. With the hands resting on top of the shoulders, maybe you can feel or hear a little bit of popping. As long as there's no pain, that's good. One last one. Beautiful. Releasing that, roll over to one side. Let's make our way to a seat. And again, I encourage always that you prop yourself up on the crease of a blanket or the crease of a pillow, just allowing the pelvis to tilt forward, taking some pressure out of that low back. Right shin in front as we begin this morning. So just take a couple shoulder rolls to work out what we just felt into. And then the hands resting lightly on the thighs. Let the arms just relax near the body. We're going to just move through the neck nice and slow, that 6-point count. So again, gather the belly in, nice straight spine, like you were sitting against a wall. Send those shoulder tips back. Take a big inhale. And then right ear is just going to drop to the right shoulder. Rotate the chin to point towards that shoulder. Release the chin towards the center of the chest. Let the head hang. Left ear, left shoulder. Chin, left shoulder. Roll the chin to the center of the chest. And then repeat. Right ear, right shoulder. The chin, right shoulder. Drop it down to center, just pausing there just to feel all the space, the connection of the cervical to the thoracic, and then over to the left. And always know you have permission to stop any place that needs just a little bit more attention. And release and meet me in center. Just to release now all of this through the shoulders, we're going to pick up the shoulders, draw them up to the ears. Hold your breath for a second. Hold it, hold it, hold it, and drop the shoulders down. 3 more times. Lift up, hold, 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 and drop. 2 more on your own. Nicely done. Arms out to the side. Take an inhale, lift the arms up, reach up and find the extension, fingertips to the hip points. Drop the hands down in front of you, palms in front, and begin to walk them forward. Keep the spine, that length in the spine, the neck even with the spine. Keep crawling the fingertips out till you feel like you need to round in. At that point, press the palms down into the floor, send the hips back, and just begin to feel the length of the back body. Maybe those back ribs. As you tuck the belly in just a little bit more, maybe there's a little bit more room to walk those fingertips forward. Wherever you land here, then soften. Let the chest fall. Soft tissue under the arms release. Nice long spine. Draw in 1 more breath here. And then walk the hands over towards the right, the chest coming towards that right thigh. Left hand extends off on a diagonal. Different choices with your right hand. You can just keep it planted on the mat. You can bring it to the side, pressing into the fingertips. So the fingertips are right outside that right thigh, just to offer a little bit more rotation. Keep the hips pressed back and then sink the chest down. Nice long side stretch. One more breath here. We'll stay on the side, walk those fingertips back towards that right knee. Left hand's just going to hook outside of the right thigh. Take the left arm up and over. So first extend towards the ceiling. Gaze can be down at that left knee or up at the thumb, whatever is good for your neck this morning. And then take that hand, palm facing down, bicep by the ear. Nice side stretch here. So if holding on to the outside of that thigh just doesn't seem to work for you this morning, just reach for the shin, just something you can anchor the hand on. Take 2 more breaths, reach through those fingers. Try and keep the hips nice and level on your mat. Next breath, you release the right hand towards that left knee. So you're crisscrossing again at the elbows, hands on opposite thighs. Drop the chin into that chest, again, finding length in the neck. And we'll move into those eagle arms positions. So just lift the palms off the thighs. Draw the forearms together. The palms, you can double bind. You can just hold on, pressing the forearms together wherever you are. Lift the elbows so that they're the height of your shoulders and send the hand away from the face. So beginning to open up the back of the shoulder joints and the back of the shoulder blades. Gather the belly again. big inhale. We're just going to take those elbows over towards the right. A little rotation here to the right. Draws it back to center. And take it left. And back to center. 2 more times each side. Move slow, rotating one way, coming back, and rotating the opposite. And coming back to center. Elbows are up. As we return to neutral, take a deep breath in, lift those elbows, lift the hands towards the ceiling, a small arch in the spine. Maybe you gaze up at the thumbs. And then slowly on the exhale, we're going to round in. So roll down, elbows come in towards the belly, hands down towards the mat. Let the crown of the head fall. So here, see where you can relax through the shoulders. Just let them round in and breathe into the space between the shoulder blades. Nice full deep breath. Nice long exhale. Let the body settle. One more breath. And then nice and easy with that next inhale, begin to lift up, straighten, stack spine. Let those elbows, hands float back up towards the ceiling. And then return to that neutral position. Sweep the arms open into that cactus position, and then drop them slowly and roll through the shoulders. And we'll switch the crossing of our legs. So this time, the left shin is in front. Again, sitting up nice and tall. Sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. Again, we want all the extension through the spine, the arms to the fingers. And then we're going to just drop again the palms down to the mat, beginning to work into this whole left side. Begin to walk the hands forward. Spine nice and straight. Not dumping the head, just trying to keep it right in line with the spine. Taking in a full breath. And again, just pulling in the tummy just a bit. See if there's any more room to walk the fingertips forward. And then here, use the breath and see if you can relax the body into the seated forward fold. Press the palms down into your mat. Send the hips back down towards the mat. Feeling length here in the whole back body, shoulders and arms. And we'll take a walk over to the left side this time. The right arm will extend as far forward as you can. The left hand can plant just to act like a kickstand. If you want to a little bit more active, bring those left fingertips right outside the left hip. Press them in and let that rotate your chest a little bit more to the left. And then use your breath and see if you can relax down towards that left thigh. One more inhale. Exhale, sink it down a little bit further. And then we're going to stay on the side, walk the right hands back towards that left knee. Maybe the right hand hooks back behind the left thigh as we lift the left arm up towards the ceiling. Reach for the ceiling. And again, you can always adjust that right hand more towards the hip or the shin or just hugging the thigh. It's just your leverage. Reach up high and flip the palm down and reach the arm overhead, bicep by the ear. See at the breath, if you can feel those ribs separate on the left side. And then we'll gently drop the left hand over towards that right thigh, crisscrossing at the elbows. Tucking the chin in through the throat, letting the head, the weight of the head, bring some length to the back of the neck. And then we'll pick up those hands, keep the crisscross, find your eagle on this side. Elbows again, come up high. You don't need to even double bind. And if one side is a lot tighter, just bring the hands like we did in reclined position to the tops of the shoulders. Same thing. We can have the same movement. Elbows up, hands away from the face. Tuck in the belly, take a big inhale, and on your exhale, let's rotate the top torso over to the left. Inhaling to the center and over to the right. Inhaling to center, and you take it twice more each side. Use your breath. And then meeting at center. Again, restacking that spine. Tucking in the belly. Lift the elbows, lift the hand, maybe even lift the gaze up towards the ceiling as you find that small arch in your spine. And then exhale the air out as you curl in. So really let the spine curl, let the shoulders curl in, the shoulder blades separate, the head just hangs heavy. Enjoy 2 full rounds of breath here. When you're ready for that next inhale, nice and slow. Bring the elbows up, re-straighten the spine, maybe take the hands up again towards the ceiling. And then return to neutral, elbows out, open up to that cactus position, let the arms gently fall, and just enjoy a couple circles here. Roll over onto hands and knees. We'll rinse this out with heart melting pose, couple cat cows, and then finish in a child's pose. So on your hands and knees, your cat cow of choice. Just move slow with your breath so that you can feel into the chest, the front body, and the back, lifting that tailbone in the chest with your inhale. And then tucking the tailbone, tucking the chin as you round and open up the back. 2 more, just like this. Returning to that neutral table, we're going to leave the hips stacked right over the knees. We're going to walk those hands forward. So as you begin to walk the hands forward, keep that spine nice and long, no sag in the spine. The forehead becomes a little closer to the mat or to your block. The chest drops, the belly is really in, so you're really supporting the spine as you reach through the fingers. This is pretty intense stretch through the shoulders. Always know you can take it 1 arm at a time, just by taking the forearm of one arm across the body, maybe even or the mat to rest your head as you reach the other arm forward. You have to use your breath here to relax the muscles, the soft tissue, everything underneath the arms, just to allow the chest, the heart to melt. Take 3 more breaths. Keep the torso nice and low as you slide the hands underneath the shoulders. Bring the knees together and sit the hips back. Untuck the toes. Again, lengthen the arms in front of you. Here, you're constricting the breath in the front body, so just let that breath expand through the back body. Bring the hands to prayer. Let the forearms come down, the blade edge of the hand resting on the mat. As you take a deep breath in, bring those fingertips up towards the ceiling, over the head, and behind you to rest on the back of the neck or the back of the shoulders. Take a moment, take a deep breath, maybe walk those elbows a little bit further, and then let the breath go and let the body sink onto the thighs. Again, with the knees together, we get a nice opening through the spine. It's rounded a little bit more, so a lot of length coming in. Use these next few moments, use your breath, come back to that intention that you do make a difference. You make a difference in everybody's lives. Just the simplest of things. Namaste. Turn off your device if you have more time. Otherwise, feel free to unmute.
Thanks, Deb. That felt great.
Yeah,
Good.
thank you.
Thank you. Let's stop this.